Happy Wednesday, people. Welcome to July 13th. The year is 2022, in the year of our Lord, for those of you who believe in Jesus. But today,
Kris.
Today won't be a religious show.
At all, because I'm here.
For those of you who are new, I am Kris the Critic. This is the most wonderfulest co-host, the most beautifulest co-host, the smartest co-host ever.
Ever.
The one, only when she agrees with me. The one, the only, Gina B. Gina B.
Hey.
Say hello to everyone.
Welcome to Wednesday, everybody.
We're gonna run through a bunch of topics today. Normally we do this show, and we pick a topic, and we talk about the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Our men out here cheating, you know. Our women only looking for money. Why don't I have a man? Why my woman don't love me? We do it all. But today, it's a good day. It's gonna get a little ignorant. I-G-N-A-N-T.
For those who don't know.
Because I'm going straight dead in on myself, men, women, and everybody in between. I ain't holding back. I love you. It ain't personal, but I'm coming right at people today with my surgically repaired.
Oh, he's got a bum mitt today.
Actually, that
Can
leads
we
into a lot of
we
jokes.
all like to guess how Kris hurt his hand?
Hey, I use both hands
The
doing
most
that.
creative person
I use both hands doing that. I lose nothing.
wins the
right
prize.
now look, again, we're just going to run through some questions. But before we start, Gina B, could
Yes.
you tell any new people here why you are here, some of your background, a little bit about you? I don't think we do that every
A
show.
little bit about me. Let's see.
Sure.
All right. So, years ago, I wrote a column for Red Eye called The Gina Spot.
Okay.
It was a relationship column, dating observation column.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I joined a group called Six Brown Chicks.
Woo!
We were on the Ayanla Van Zant Fix My Life show. And every time it reruns, I always know because people will walk up to me like,
You all weren't really getting along on that
you
show.
look familiar. No, we were not.
Did they like turn the heat up, get y'all drunk, and give y'all drugs?
You know
before the show?
what? They tried. We could have a whole show on that. They tried to cause adversity.
I'd be handing out everything.
between
What's your
us.
thing? Weed, coke, crack? I got it all.
I mean, they were just trying to cause problems just to get us to fight. But that's what reality show is. That's the formula for it. So it wasn't as bad as it looked, but it was pretty funny. And now, I'm not writing as much, but I'm doing this co-host gig with my fun host Kris the Critic here. So happy to be here.
I appreciate you. And for those of you
Week
who
after
are
week.
just getting their first gander at me, I don't have Gina B's extensive professional background, but what I do have are a bunch of failed relationships that I've learned from. How about that?
You are so funny.
A lot of women that just don't like my
I'm
ass
trying
out
to
in these
share.
streets. But I am happily married. Father of 3 women, young ladies, kids, all in between, who call me dad. It's the Lord's way of getting back at a player. But I'm here.
Players curse, 3
to share
women.
these experiences with you. So if you see us looking down, this is an interactive show. Whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you are, we want to see your questions. He's in the studio, but the intricate part of the show, our producer Brian is sitting right down over there. And if you see any good questions, Brian, throw them up on the screen.
As he always does.
Exactly.
As he does. So,
without further ado, Gina B, I'm going to throw the first topic out at you and our studio audience. If you guys have anything, again, do me a solid. Tell me what you thought. Say I'm full of it. Tell me why you disagree. And then we'll talk about it. Because the idea of us is to learn a little something on the show. I am trying to get on my...
And drink some apple juice while we're at it.
Could you tell people about our
Yes.
sponsor really quick, Gina B?
Our sponsor is what we're imbibing on today. This is Kavent. If you are having a hard day at work or even a fun night at home, take the edge off with Kavent.
It's great for a Wednesday.
It is.
At your local liquor store,
Kimbark
Liquors, A&S Beverage. Who else is in the area? If anybody goes to 200 Liquors, tell Steve he needs to buy this. All right, that's all I got.
That's what we're talking about. Kris sometimes has ginger ale with his, and I drink mine straight.
Oh, you just want to throw out there, hey, Kris is a pussy. Just say that.
I'm just saying.
Kris is a pussy.
Kris
I got a long show. All right, so without further ado, first question, Gina B.
Yes.
In regards to professional women, this is what I see, and some of the male brethren see. Brian, tell me if I'm wrong, or if you agree with Gina B. What do professional women think about men and their money as it pertains to long-term relationships or marriage?
They should have some?
Do y'all think we don't have enough? You professional women, do y'all think it's a shortage of men with money?
Yes.
See, that's that bullshit right there.
There's not?
No.
There are more professional women than there are men in general.
But I'm saying, if all y'all sleeping with somebody, not just you, but all y'all.
All of them are. No, not all of them. Some of them are kind of lonely.
Here's the test. If one worked at a post office and I'm a woman, do my male co-workers make less? No.
It depends on their
what if I'm a nurse? Do the male nurses make less? If I'm a doctor, now granted there might be a few more women doctors, but wherever you work, ladies, are the men making less money?
No, they're making more, which is kind of the problem.
All right, so there we go.
In those areas.
Now we're going. Now we're getting there.
In those areas.
So why would you sit here and say that there are no men with money? Do you really mean to say that professional women want a man with way more money?
No, that's not what I mean to say.
Sounds like what you mean.
Because you're taking a microcosm of, you're taking four professions.
Whatever profession you choose.
Which all require higher education.
Well, we're talking about professional women. So what?
Right, but like my point being, look at other professions.
Let's look at any profession you choose.
Okay, let's look at my profession. We'll look at my profession.
First off, you aren't all women, but that's okay. But we can look at yours too. But here's the thing. Whatever profession we're looking at, there are men and women in those professions making the same amounts of money. People typically date people or meet people where they work.
Are we talking about black people?
We can. This is about everybody, but
this is about everybody.
I'm okay with talking about black.
Well, I don't think the problem is universal. I think the problem is the black community.
I can't speak to that. You cannot. Let's keep it black.
I can. Now. Well, yeah,
but other races stay too, because it applies to you too.
I mean, it can. We just don't have data there.
Men and women are making the same amount of money. Matter of fact, there are studies that show.
Okay.
And I'll bring it out. Black men. Now they may be more blue collar black men, but per average human that's working, black men average more money than black women.
Yeah, I know so many black women who are making more money than their significant others. So you do the math.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Because those women chose what? Did they sit here? So
you're going to say unwisely?
Was money? I didn't say that. Don't use my words.
Well, you were just leading.
Were they looking at something other than money?
Probably.
So why the complaint?
Okay. When you get together with a person,
I want to know why the complaint.
When you get together with a person, the hope is that there is an evolution. And the hope is
people date, right? I don't see somebody say, you know what, I meet this girl and her butt might look better in the future.
That's not really the right.
I think she'll stop loud mouthing me and get quiet.
No.
Maybe she'll learn how to treat me. Maybe she'll learn how to cook.
Okay, if you're on a job, you get what annually? A raise.
Okay.
Right.
So you saying men aren't getting raises?
Well, my point is that they're maybe not like moving ahead as fast as some of their female professional counterparts, is my point. Of the people that are making those complaints. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what it is.
Or
what?
The people that are making these complaints, that's what they could get. The man making about what they couldn't. Because if I'm a man making a lot of money, what do men typically look for in women?
Looks.
So ask yourself, ladies, when you say, I want a man with more money, do you have the looks that the man with more money would want?
I mean, that's definitely a question. So I'm not going to debate that.
I'm not saying you got to choose butt ugly. I wouldn't. But at some point, if I wanted more money, I would sacrifice on the looks. That's me. If I were a woman. But obviously, some women out here thinking they can have all their cake and eat it too. They can just
I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that either.
Some dude with a whole bunch of money is just going to bequeath it to them.
No, I think that you have to put yourself in a place where you're as attractive as you need to be
As the
to
money
attract.
you want, right?
Exactly.
Do you think most women fit that? I feel like Brian. I feel like I'm an attorney.
He's leading me. He's cross-examining
Do you
me.
feel like most women fit the stature and looks of the money that they command?
I mean, that they command?
Yeah.
There are some women that do
That
and
wasn't
some
the
don't.
question.
Some do, some don't.
Please answer the question, Ms.
I
B.
am answering the question. I'm saying some do, some don't. I'm not answering it the way you want me to
The
answer it,
answer's
but I'm
no.
answering it.
They don't. Now, conversely, so now I'm not crapping on women on this show.
Like Perry Mason in the house.
I'm equally crapping on everybody.
You are crapping on women.
Fellas, admittedly, fellas, I did it plenty of times.
Yes, you did.
I looked at the little waist and the big butt, and the girl couldn't do nothing else. Wake up 5 years like, this girl gets on my fucking nerves. We do that way too often. So what needs to happen?
Please don't
Those
choose
brothers
butt.
making some cash need to go to these women with some qualities. And those brothers with some sense who come to their senses, they need to meet these women with, these good women need to meet the good men. But instead, the good men and good women are reaching, the good men are reaching after women that ain't shit. Right? And they taking advantage of them, and then the men are mad. They mad. We do dumb shit. We dumb. And then the women are looking at the looks, they acting just like men. And they're mad that he ain't got no money. It's got to give. That's the problem. That's what's going on in the world.
Let's see what the comments are saying. You know what?
Tell me if I'm full of
have
shit.
a cloudy contact lens, and this is across the room. Okay. Sectonius.
We are getting more equal. We're getting equal.
Well, we are getting more equal because there are equal expectations of women than as there are of men. It used to be that women were largely.
Everybody has this fallacy that women were dependent on men. They weren't. It's just if you go back to the early whenever, women were getting jobs and men were necessarily.
They were getting jobs, but there was
black
like
women
a
had
huge
to take
fight
care.
for equality.
But that to me, that's not head of household just because I make more money.
Right, but there was a lot of...
Y'all only singing that tune now because y'all got some more bread. Now y'all rewriting the past. But there have been women in the past with more money that look for a man. You know why? Because there are better outcomes with kids when it's a man in the house. And it helps to have two people paying on some bills rather than one. Back then, it didn't make a difference who was making more. They money. Now everybody's out for self. I want to give 50 until a motherfucker shows me 100. That's just ain't how it goes. People are choosing people with bad character. Men and women.
No, I agree with that. I mean,
That's the
there's
truth.
bad character. There's a lot of people that are choosing for the wrong reasons, and if someone shows you have bad character...
Say it again, Sectonius Watson. Black couples have always relied on each other. And that's what people don't realize. And now, you have women out here. First, you got men being trifling, right?
Yeah.
Blame the world on their problems. Nobody like women want men with too much money. A woman should want a man who's gainfully employed, taking care of himself. A Negro you don't have to take care of. I will never say go take care of somebody. Ever. I got 3 daughters. They all better bring home somebody with some paper. I don't care how you look. That's the edict. When they get older and look at this.
Well, you know what I always say.
But they've always relied on each other. And now, so the guys are doing, they mad.
Mm-hmm.
And you got these women out here
like
who think, well, I make more money. So I deserve to have Idris Elba or dick down to somebody's knees and just worships me. Even though I'm talking all this loud shit. And I can't separate being at work when I get at home. Men don't like that shit. Especially anybody work having. Your mouth set up all wrong. I ain't taking it easy on nobody today. And any woman want to chime in and talk shit.
He's awfully feisty today, but okay.
I just had surgery. Can't jag off
like yesterday.
Can't relax myself.
Yeah, didn't we? Yeah, you were discussing earlier your ambidexterity. I'm just saying.
But that's what's going on with it. That is what it is.
That is what it is.
You got anything else to add? I
mean, no, because there's no point arguing about it. It's like, no, you haven't missed the point. I mean, that is reflective of some situations.
Hold on, we got a page. It could be my wife saying, "Shut your punk ass up." It wasn't.
Okay.
Wasn't her.
Well, good.
All right.
All right. So.
What do you got next?
What do you have next? You're the one with the questions. In the meantime, I will smooth out my hair. My bun today.
All right. Fellas, this is going out to y'all. Similar to the last question.
Okay.
Fellas, do we think many of the women in the dating pool, so this is more for my single brethren, want more from a man than they themselves have to offer a man. Well, you can answer.
I mean, I'm not a man. Do I think that?
But do you have female friends? You're show everybody to rock. Gina B is off the market, fellas. I know you're looking like, wow, she seems to have a nice point of view. Off the market. She used to be an Instagram model. You should have got in back then.
My one picture.
But do you think that there are women out there, and they're just good women?
Yes.
I mean, good
there
women.
are.
And they're looking for men.
There are.
But they don't have as much to offer the man.
And I overhear a lot. Rod Veal. I can't see him. I have a cloudy
Rod
contact
Veal
lens today.
says
Women have better soft skills.
Women have better soft skills, and the world has evolved from those skills. Are more in demand. 1,000%, Mr.
More
Veal.
in demand. Yeah.
But a lot of women don't even show off though. I would be finessing those soft skills.
And some women wear it as a badge of honor that they don't. Like there's a lot of women
Exactly. It's a lot of women. I want to act
like,
big,
I don't
bad,
cook.
bold. I don't. Here's what first date.
Why not?
Here's my list of things I don't
minimum.
do. No man wants to hear that. I want to hear you can be a CEO from 9 to 5, 6:30, whatever you work. But if we out on a date, I want you got to laugh at my dumb jokes. You got to giggle. You have to. What do I always say?
Be a kitten,
not a cat.
And I have 2 kittens in my house right now.
And aren't they fun and cuddly? They run up to you and
they're bad as hell.
They're just like
start
puppies.
with that.
But
with claws.
When kittens get old, they turn into old ornery. I don't want to be bothered with nobody ass.
They're just particular.
And when men don't like, at least early on in dating, we don't like particular.
You don't like particular.
I know it's some women
you want
out there
them to be
saying,
cuddly and
I ain't gonna be who I'm gonna be.
laugh.
Be who you gonna be by yourself. That's how it is. I ain't scared of none of them.
Well,
the femininity can come at me. I don't care.
But no, I don't disagree with you though. I mean, there are a lot of women who you hear the laundry list of things that they want. But by the way, there are a lot of men, and we can get to that. There are a lot of men who kind of forget who they are and who they used to be.
Absolutely.
They remember who they used to be, and they forget who they are today.
Gina B is out here trying to cheat and get ahead.
I'm just saying.
Ooh, Sick Tony's, that might be a whole show.
What do you say?
Let's go into Southern women versus Northern women.
Uh-oh.
There is indeed something to say about it. There's a show in there, but Sick Tony's, I will tell you.
Uh-huh.
There's also something to be said about Southern men versus our spoiled ass Northern men.
Seriously.
That's a whole show.
There's a lot. The Southern gentlemen.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a buck.
There are Southern gentlemen.
I'm smacking men too. I'm smacking everybody.
That's right.
I'm reaching over. I'm smacking Brian. Everybody gets smacked today.
Yeah.
Northern men, we got some issues.
Northern men don't have. There, there's no like walking on the curbside. There's no.
Unless you went down south.
A lot of those men.
Every summer got shipped off and picked cotton with your grandma. That don't happen too much.
No, who's picking cotton?
I'm telling my age a little bit. I'm 72 years old.
Apparently.
I'm 72 years old.
Chicken George Levy.
I look great.
Yeah, I'm like. Well, you want a plantation at some point? What are you talking about? Okay.
So you definitely think, because I think you got some great women out here, right?
There are some great women.
I'm talking shit, but women, here's why. I don't expect as much from men. Y'all have held it down, the moral fiber of our communities, since the beginning of time. Now y'all out here like, men do it, I want to do it. He slept with 5 people, I want to sleep with 6.
That's because there are more, women have evolved. But like,
is that the goal?
No, that isn't the goal. But from a professional, so this is where I think this came from.
Where?
When I think of my mother, right? And my mother never worked. My parents were together until my mother passed away. So,
wow.
But my mother had friends.
Shout out to your dad.
Who, right? Really shout out to her. But my mother had friends who they were married for a long time, and then when they got divorced, their husbands left them for other women. They were ass out. They didn't know how to do anything. And so I think that generation raised girls to be independent because they never wanted to see their daughters like that.
Great point.
But I think the pendulum swung a little too hard. So it's like, yes, you should go out. You should be independent. Don't rely on no man, girl, because you're going to be ass out.
I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
No.
I do agree with that.
But I feel like the pendulum swung a little hard. And so that means that these girls of that generation were raised to believe that these are the things that you should be to be a good woman.
But they don't.
And they're judging themselves as a man should judge themselves. And that's not really the right way to do it.
That was a great point. And we go there, but the pendulum swinging too far is true.
Yeah, it swung a little too hard.
Because right now, honestly, the men that women are complaining about were raised by some woman who treated that kid more like a man,
like the king of the house,
like he was young king.
You're my little king. You're the man of the house. You are 7.
Little man. No, that's your kid.
Right.
And that dude needs to be kicked in the head hard. But
Absolutely.
They treat that harder on their girls than they're on the boys.
All day.
All these ignorant ass, lazy, trifling Negroes still at home in your basement. You made them. If you don't put a foot on his neck, somebody needs to. Because I know women who were just trifling hoes with 4 or 5 kids. They are gainfully employed, taking care of all of them by themselves.
Yep.
They just get it done.
Yeah.
Fellas, it's the truth. So while I smack them both ways, shout out to all the sisters out there, because at the end of the day, y'all handling y'all business. And a lot of guys aren't. Ladies, stay away from those guys. Then you don't have to worry about it. But they got some game.
There's a lot of men.
They do have some game because they were raised by women.
They were raised by women.
They know what you want to hear, but you got to know what you need.
But they feel like women should continue to have to raise them, and that's really not what anyone's signing up for.
Yeah.
No one's signing up to be anybody's mama.
True that.
I'm not.
Any good ones before I go on?
Yeah, what are we looking at,
Because I'm about to switch to the next week. We got like 7 more things to go.
Southern men were proud to have them, they're women not to work.
If you were any man, you were proud of that. They were proud to take care of business for their families. Amen.
Right, I did Southern, yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. No,
Southern
seriously.
man, hey, that's my cousin right there. Hey, that's my cousin.
Okay.
Next one.
Yes.
Men and women. Everybody's going to try to chime in. Don't jump. Whoever gets up the fastest gets it. Who drops the ball more in the bedroom? Men or women? Who drops the ball more in the bedroom? Okay. Men or women? We're talking about sex right now.
Women might drop the ball more in terms of like not being in terms of like maybe not being as aggressive, not being as
As what?
Initiating sex, right? Like not
little appetizer, Brian. Little appetizer, little head game to get us going.
But men drop the ball because you guys forget that foreplay is psychological.
We do,
and you don't work on that, and you have to. It's chicken or the egg, right? Because if in the morning, if you can't piss us off all day and then think we're just going to be like, ooh, I feel like putting on lingerie to tantalize this man. It's like I feel like putting my foot on his throat. You can't like.
Is that what you do?
I mean, but
is that the thing?
Depends on the household.
I'm willing to try.
But you know what? But when it's like when like if you live together, right? Say you're in a long-term relationship, you're married, whatever, and you know that your woman doesn't like to see dishes in the sink, or likes when you take out the garbage or whatever. Why are you leaving garbage around? Why are you leaving dishes in the sink? You want to make her if you are trying to get laid, then you should do the things that you know that she appreciates so that she'll have more incentive to have sex with you, right? And then you guys want to lick your woman on the neck a couple of times and then fuck. And it's like, well, that's not really what this is about.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
My thing is this.
What's your thing?
I agree with all that.
Okay.
First, let me get on my brothers. She's right, fellas. And I will say not just women, but men too. We all need to, as we do our cars in Chicago winter, warm them up a little bit more than you did when it was a new car.
Right.
Right? When I was 16, if somebody said, I think I want to give you some. That's all I needed. 10 seconds later, I'm like, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to go right now. It's almost like that now. But,
I'm sure.
You might need a little more. And women are the same way. So just because you're ready and you've been eyeing her walking around the bedroom for 10, 15 minutes. Like, yeah, I'll do that. See, we doing that.
Yeah.
When you see a guy he's been doing that. He touching himself under the cover like he's about to be on right now. If she get in the bed and you snuggle and 1-2 kiss on the neck, no, bro. And their day starts, like she said, hours before.
Oh, yeah.
They're in a good mood in the morning.
And
then
you'll
I
be
wake
surprised.
up and you've washed some clothes that you didn't normally do. She's like, he gonna get some tonight.
It's like,
set
ooh,
that
look
ass
at that.
up early.
Exactly.
Chores are the new way to get that ass, fellas.
You know?
I just gave you Gina B gave you a jewel. I just confirmed it.
I'm telling you.
You can't see the ring, but
chores.
I've been out the game for a minute. Chores get it done.
I'm going to go further.
What?
I'm going to coin a new phrase.
What?
I'm going to call it chore play.
Shore. Give me some. That's why she's on the show.
Chore play, y'all.
Chore play.
It's about the chore play.
Now, ladies, I hear women, being the critic, I get women saying, trying to get a little drinks. Yeah,
Our sponsor.
Yeah, sponsor is going to represent. I've gotten correspondence from women.
Uh-huh.
He don't last that long.
Well, you know. That's the way the men drop the ball.
But I'm going to tell you, fellas, I'm not saying you got to be in the best shape, but we're going to not go into blood flow and how penises get erect in this show. But I will tell you that simply walking 4 or 5 times a week improves your blood pressure, all of that stuff, puts you in a better position. But I will say that I'm an honest speaker, right, when it comes to this. Always have been. Early on in relationships, people put out them best selves.
Yes.
Women have the best lingerie. Later on, we see more shower caps.
Well, or you see sweatpants.
Either way, men are visual creatures. So ladies, just like he needs to start that foreplay earlier, if you want the desired results, you better wear that thing that you normally wear and give him some head like you don't know him.
Wait, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you assuming that we give head to people we don't know?
I'm just saying, first time.
Because yuck.
I will say that the first time women or men sleep with somebody, you get better performances.
Okay.
Brian, am I lying about that? And it ain't just men saying they want to do this.
I guess that's just how you guys were raised.
Listen, in private, go out with your female friends and say, girl, you ever had a one-night stand where you gave dudes some head and been nasty? You gonna see hands going up like, girl, shit. It was me, him, his boy, his twin came in. You gonna hear some stories you ain't never heard.
Okay.
I'm just saying, people put their best foot forward. I ain't lying.
I don't know that many sisters
they gonna
that
tell you
are
privately.
volunteering
Now you gonna come on the
put
show.
their mouth on some foreign dick. And
See
you
that?
don't know if he's been playing basketball all day.
That shit right
You don't
there.
know what.
I once got in an argument. Person shall remain nameless. I don't think I've seen her watching the show. She was a little
Today
more
will
advanced
be
than
that
I was
day.
as a young buck. I was a doer, but you can't do certain stuff to me. I'm just not that open. I'm not that guy. I'm more of a doer. Whatever you want done, I'm doing.
No ass play.
She was trying to do some. She's trying to. And I finished hooping. It was a story.
Fisting.
She said, I want to do you. I'm like, no. We left the motel.
The motel.
We left the motel.
Okay. The no-tell motel.
First of all, don't act like you ain't. And the car, the motel, basically were penthouses.
No one knows where the nose goes when the doors close.
Gina B, you might have a little more experience than I
I'm
thought.
just saying.
Name on his co-host.
You know. I told you I'm an experienced data
but I do
consultant.
I don't even like doing this to my fellas, but I hear more. Here's the complaints I hear from men, right? Man, she don't even like doing this no more. I have to beg for this. How you feel about it? I'm like, motherfucker, it'll be a divorce in my house or some shit like that. Either way, right? But fellas, I will say this, and we're going to move on. If you have some health difficulties, whether it's you take medicine for diabetes or high blood pressure or your eye shape, or you haven't been, doing it as much, it affects you down there. That's a natural thing.
It does.
I would first go see a healthcare professional, make sure it's nothing serious, but then address that shit. Because if you address it, I'm telling you, she will be more happy with your effort and her happiness than you pretending shit don't exist. And right now, it's a lot of dudes out here saying, well, hey, ain't shit wrong. She's, yeah, nigga.
Well, you gotta keep, real talk though, men. It's and this could be women too, but right now we're addressing men. But just guys have to keep the weight off of them,
right?
Because
it doesn't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Life.
I'm not gonna, right because men. First of all, men with a lot of weight, especially the way men gain weight, it's all going to be in here. But it's the truth. They gain weight all in here, and that affects your cardiovascular health, right? So what that means is that your stamina is lower. You're not as athletic, which is going to, at some point, affect. I mean, you want to be around for your family on top of it, so you don't want to be a heart attack risk waiting to happen. You want to be able to shoot some hoops, whatever the athleticism is. You don't want her sucking
the mailman's dick because he walked all day.
Well, and then here's the thing that will really give you incentive, guys. If you gain a bunch of weight, your penis will about an inch of penis.
Wow.
For 50 pounds gained.
I'm gonna look.
I'm not kidding. And you know how I know this?
Is smarter than me,
you know how I know this?
Look it up.
You know why I know this, right? Do you know? No. Because one of my girls had a boomerang dude that she hooked up with like in college.
What does that mean, a boomerang?
Well, he came back. So she hooked up she hooked up with him in college, and then later on, well into adulthood, after he'd gained a whole bunch of weight, they hooked up again, and she goes, I could swear that he's smaller.
Wow. Maybe
and it's because
maybe she said a lot of dick.
But we did some research, and that is accurate.
Okay. I'm not doubting.
Physiologically, it happens. So,
I
mean, just keep the blood pressure low, keep the weight down. It will just only help you in the long run. Anyway, that's my public service announcement for the day. So, what else you got?
We got about 12 minutes. We're going to run through these next.
We go.
Next one.
Wow, we have more than 12 minutes? Who does your math? What? We have 22 minutes.
Oh.
No.
Let's talk about cheating.
Okay.
Do all men cheat or most men cheat? And do women cheat at all? Because let women tell it. Every man is out here cheating, and women once in a while cheat. So let's talk about cheating.
Okay, I don't think all men cheat. I really don't.
I don't know.
I think a good percentage of men do cheat. I think a good percentage of women cheat.
Okay.
Here's the difference.
You're in the minority with
Here is the difference. Women are better at it, and we very rarely, not rarely, but we will get caught, but we don't get caught as frequently as men.
I'm going to tell you this now. I shouldn't even say this because I don't want brothers getting in trouble. We just say y'all better. We cheat way more when we cheat. That's the difference.
You cheat more when you cheat? Oh, well,
men cheat with a plethora of women. Women, the reason it hurts men more, the dude y'all cheat with, he's slinging some mean dick. I've been the dude. She's like, you know what? You're the only guy that, and I'm sure that would hurt that motherfucker to know the shit she was doing with me. Man, we just like, fuck it, it's Tuesday. She got to
Okay, let me tell you a little universal secret about women.
Y'all don't get caught as much.
We don't, but let me tell you another universal secret.
But we have a higher percent.
Anytime a woman says, I don't really do this very often, or I've never done this before. You're the only guy that I've ever done this before. That bitch is like wholesale.
right.
Hooking. Like, I promise you, and it's kind of a joke.
I've
only had sex with 2 people. Yeah, multiplied by what, bitch? Because I know at least 10.
I'm like, I hear music coming from down there.
You got the Bose installed down there.
What the fuck is she doing?
Right? Like, don't even try that shit. I'm just letting you know.
I've only been with a few older men. That's why, I'm a little... Bro,
that bitch hit up the nursing home.
I'm like, did she go get some ice cream? I wasn't even used to anything cold being around, but she was talking so nasty too. I was like, I may have been taken advantage of. She was older. I may have been me too. I won't complain.
Yeah, you were raising your hand for that me too.
I sure was, goddammit.
Whatever.
Take all of it.
Brian, do we have anything interesting coming through on comments? Because I can't see that well today. I have a cloud.
But I do think dick and blood flow, absolutely. But I do think these days... women cheat, but usually we aren't getting something at home. Michelle Edge, absolutely right. I think that's a great point. I think that is because when they're missing something at home and a guy gives it to him, he's going to get a lot of her.
Well, a couple of episodes ago, a few episodes ago, and by that I mean like 6, I told you there's this old song called Things I Miss at Home. Do you remember this?
You did. Things I miss.
And Sherelle, and women would be in the audience like, you give me, I mean, they were just like, hey. And so,
That's a good point.
But and you know what? That's interesting. guys, they know just how to come at you because they can kind of see the things you might be missing.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't do that to you like he does, baby. I wouldn't treat you like that.
And I've had dudes come at me, to your point. Man, I think my girl stepped out. It happens, right? Guys know they y'all just never get caught. But they know, right? Mm-hmm. You come home and you riding 4 inches higher on them than you normally do. That's where you been.
Let's try something, honey.
Right.
Sorry, where'd you learn that shit?
Yeah, she's like this.
I was watching a movie.
Right, exactly. Don't come home with no super new shit, ladies. Dudes just act stupid. They ain't that stupid. Remember, they cheat a lot. They got some.
If I twirl you around, yeah.
But you're right. I mean, if I tell dudes, they say I think my girl's cheating, and I tell dudes, have you been righteous? Usually, a woman will react because when the guy is giving his attention somewhere,
you kind of know.
But if he has all his attention here, you also know.
You know that too. Yeah.
So my point is, I don't think men are crafty enough. If you're going to do something on the side, fellas, because when I was dating, I tried it all. I tried being 100% here. I tried, spreading myself around. I will tell you.
Spread myself
around. It is very difficult being everything to more than one woman. So if you're taking something away from something you care about, nigga, you asking for trouble.
Okay, Stephen A. Smith asks a very interesting question. So, you guys, I am an executive recruiter by day. And so he wants to know, can you put that back up there, Brian, please?
She likes to see her CEO.
He wants to know how the CEOs I recruit balance all these things.
Gina is a baller for anybody who's watching this show.
Let me tell you something. There are very few in my career. Most of the CEOs that I recruit and C-suite people are in shape. They are in, I don't know what they do with their marriages, but I just had a conversation this week about a guy who was like, well, I need to discuss that with my wife because I don't know. Like it's
so they are.
They are.
Correct.
And I have never recruited, and not because I don't go looking for them or I omit them for whatever reason. It's just that those are the ones that kind of rise to the top. All the people that I know that are really good at their craft have got it together. They're like in control. They've got like their weights under control. They've got, those are the good candidates that I recruit. So I'm just letting, that's a data point.
And those are the men. What do the women look
Generally
like?
men. And the women too. Women too. I have encountered.
Are they loudmouth women?
Well,
those men don't deal with that.
I wouldn't know that.
Okay.
I wouldn't know that because I don't know them socially. I'm interviewing them, so they're not going to be that way with me.
Most of the women in that position, this is totally different. So I see more and more professional. Usually it used to be if you're a woman in that position, it was hard for you to get a family and all that. But I see women now making that all happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of women that are like, because everyone's Zooming from home, right? So I've seen more people's toddlers than I care to. And just...
That we need to revisit a fitness show. Because I will say... Even me, I'm a salesperson, and people buy from people who they like talking to.
They admire.
And they like looking at and all of that. So part of my wife as well, we are obsessed with being able to provide, and part of that is being in shape.
Right? Are they primarily white? Yeah, but you know what? The brothers and the sisters that I recruit are also
exactly. I was going to say the brothers that I know. And the sisters that I know that are in an environment where you have to interact with different people and maybe have a shorter amount of time to make an impression.
Right.
Salespeople, executive recruiting, C-level people.
Right.
You got they are in shape.
There's a mind-body connection that you have to make.
But we have, and it happens more so in the Midwest, we've all become lax, right? Black men by nature, I don't care if you're in the U.S. or in Africa, we love full-figured women, but we've pushed past the point, right? Men and women. Men, it's affecting men in the bedroom way younger. And if you got to have some deep pockets to be a big fat motherfucker, slinging some mean dick and still command and be single and say, I want to find this bitch around. You got to be, right? And women, listen, men are visual creatures. You can't get so out of shape that just because your girl telling you she like it, they gonna always uplift you. But know that man that was with you, he's a man.
Right.
So you should at least try to, I'm not saying be in the best shape. None of us are. But at least take pride in your appearance, how you dress, how you know what I'm saying? Your makeup, whatever you used to do to pull him, keep doing it. Plus, he loves you anyway. Just be nice with it. But don't get old and mean. That's for men and women. Don't nobody like no mean person.
No one likes me. Everyone likes, I mean,
But
to
people
date.
get mean as they get older. Everybody mad.
They do. You know what's really funny? So I swear my fiance enjoys the fact that I have a meaner streak than,
Do you?
I swear he does. Well, like, he will sick people. He will sick me on people.
You are a mean person.
Like, I mean, like, I'm direct, and people aren't really, like, always accustomed to
I
that.
actually ran into one of your contractors the other night at a party.
Did you? What did he say?
He went to my high school. I got some loyalty to him.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
We will.
Can we move on? I want to go.
Yeah, I want to talk about...
Because you came up with this next.
I did.
And I actually tested this out at home. Me and Mrs. Critic were at odds over it, so it's a good question. Now then, I've seen this in a recent TV show. If anyone who watches P-Valley, we won't get into it. Anybody watch
I
P-Valley?
couldn't get through the first episode.
I didn't want to watch
P-Valley.
P-Valley.
Let's talk about that.
I thought it was a little.
I'm not a stripper person.
I thought it was a little homosexual, but they have
Homosexual?
enough. They have enough TNA in that movie to keep.
I thought it was all TNA.
No, but he got
It's gay too.
A lot of man.
It's T and gay.
I put up with the man-on-man relationships because I like seeing all of them. If you haven't started watching P-Valley, watch at least 2 seasons tonight. Anyway,
I have 2 seasons.
That's
Sit
not the
there,
question.
glued to the fucking
The
TV.
question is,
okay, anyway, go ahead.
For those of you who are in a long-term relationship or married, what type of money or is look-away money?
Okay,
Meaning,
let me explain the genesis.
Thank you. This is your
I'll
question.
explain the genesis of this.
12
So,
minutes left now.
there are people, I'm glad you're counting correctly. There are people who, women marry because they have prestige and they have power and they have money and they enjoy being Mrs. X, right? And so, there is a certain amount of liberty that they may give that man because the lifestyle they lead and the status they have is worth more than his occasional indiscretions that won't last forever. She's hanging in there for the long haul. She likes that prestige, right?
Right.
And so, but the question then becomes, how much money and how much power does a man need? And I call it look-away money.
Right.
Like, how much look-away money do you have?
And I'm not saying the opposite doesn't happen, but in most circumstances, it's men. And I will say this. I think most people don't have, unless you're with a woman who comes from just absolutely the worst background ever. Mm-hmm. Most African American men, it might be a small percent. Let's take the Kanye's, the Jay-Z's, or no, let's take the brother who's making $300,000-400,000.
Okay, that's fair.
And he got a nice house, and he's.
I mean, $400,000's a good living,
and he's got a woman who, in the past, made $50,000.
Right.
And he's bought her a car. He's moved her into a house with
She's like, well,
3
thank
times
you, Big
square
Daddy.
footage apartment. And without that, her network is small. Does he or does she allow him more leeway, to dibble and dabble?
I think so.
My honest opinion is, if it works for them,
it needs to work for them, though.
Then it can't work for one of them.
Right. It's got to be a mutual.
I'm not even shaming the woman.
No.
As long as that man is committed to that family, I shouldn't say this, the femininity's going to be after it. Well, if he's committed to that family and doesn't he ain't tricking off all the family money and the kids.
And he's being respectful to a degree.
And every now and then he dibbles and dabbles just because that's what men do. And I'm not. That's not a hard foul. That's not two shots in the ball out. That's
everybody needs to know why they're there. Okay? Like, if the woman is there because her lifestyle is significantly better because of him.
Wait a minute. I have a very successful wife. I'm not saying the reverse works. Let's just get that out there. Please continue.
Okay, but what my point is that if her lifestyle, she knows, right, that her lifestyle is advanced to the point where it's even better if she stays with him rather than get divorced, right? It's even like to stay married is really kind of the better option for her. Then it could be a situation where she's like, you know what, whatever, maybe not whatever, but I mean, as long as he's being respectful, etc., then as long as I have my status in life, then this is worth it to me. But it depends on what's worth it to you. Now, there are some brothers who try that shit. And they don't have look-away money.
They making $62,000.
You make $60,000 a year,
she making $68,000.
Like that is not right. Like that is. I am better off by my damn self.
Yeah, she gonna find that somewhere
don't hang out with the dude that's got look-away money and think that translates. No, you do not have look-away money.
And ladies, those who partake in that, I'd look at a dude, even if you gave him the benefit of the doubt with one eye, give him the one eye up, because they may bounce on you. Just make sure that you are taken care of. Move to California.
Right.
A state where you're going to get some, God forbid, if it don't work out.
Exactly. Make sure you're taken care of. But my point is I think everyone's got a cost.
I'm not going to show you all this.
What are you going to show me?
Mrs. Critic may not be watching. I didn't see her name. But Mrs. Critic works for a company. She is the entertained NBA player. And I'm like this. I would hate to have to fight that tall mofo. But
the tall mofo with
the opposite doesn't work. Yes, he can have Mrs. Critic's on the picture with.
And he's wearing gray sweatpants, y'all.
You know what? He did that shit on purpose. Mrs. Critic is on the picture with a nice looking coworker with an NBA player. I ain't gonna show it. Y'all just go back and snap it. And I'm like, how would I fight this Negro? I know we weigh the same.
Kick him in his very obvious crotch.
I'll just rush that motherfucker. But anyway, so the opposite doesn't work. I just had to throw that because I told her that.
She's like, I'm watching.
Damn it. Oh, fuck. Show's over. I didn't know she was watching. I didn't see her name. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so funny.
Telling everybody our government last name.
God, everybody knows your government last name. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
That's what you get for pulling up the picture and showing it to people. You knew that was going to go well.
J.R. Smith, if you're watching, I don't want to fight you, but I'll fuck you up. Anywwe, we got time for one more. Oh, we got Brian Foster and Chantel coming up next from In the Zone. If you're not on In the Zone on Facebook, it is one of my favorite places to go.
It was one of his favorite shows to blow up when he was busy.
Almost. I ain't even say they're almost as good as The Critic and Gina B. But it's a good show. They talk about stuff other than relationships. I think tonight they're talking about. Is Brian Foster here, Brian?
Well, can't you hear him?
Peek his head in. I think they are talking about. Brian, I always forget your subject.
What's your topic?
What's your topic tonight? Is it Greeks? Woo! It's about pledging.
You should stay here for that.
They don't want me on their show.
Not anymore. Shit. Not after the last time.
I'm not allowed to be on their show for 3 months.
If anybody if you missed it.
Did you shut up already?
I'm just saying.
Anyway, Brian Foster's show, and you can catch it on In the Zone on Facebook or BRI space FOS Foster. They're talking about people who pledge or Greeks after 40. Yo, all the newts in the building.
I find that interesting.
It'll be a good show. They don't want.
Do you get hazed less, or what happens?
I have to kill you if I told you.
I'm just curious, just generally. Like, is the pledge process? All of a sudden.
The true answer is, at least for my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, does not believe in hazing or in any way, shape, or fashion worldwide. Doesn't happen.
I'm curious about this. I need to watch this show because I'm curious about the reasons why people do it.
What you're doing, who chapter, all that.
I like it. Okay.
We'll take one more. Let me look through.
Let's see. Yeah, we can do a really quick one. Go ahead.
A really quick one.
Yeah.
For those who want to get married, no, we don't want to do that. That's more. Let's talk about money and sex and drugs. I mean, these
drugs.
Liquid money. We talking about that. Do we consider? Oh no, we can do that.
Yeah. We're just going through the questions for you guys to make sure it's interesting.
I want to ask one.
Okay, go ahead.
And this to the ladies. And fellas, please weigh in on this one. To me, being married, outside looking in, I think that women seem to have more anger, women in the dating market, dating arena, single women, more anger, pent up aggression than in years past. And a lot of angst towards men. Fellas, is it true or false? Ladies, is
Who can answer that?
guys can tell you what they feel.
Right, but like, here's the deal. In years past,
I see a lot. No. I see a lot of social media posts. Men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. Men get on my nerves. Men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. I hate men. Y'all stupid. Y'all. These women want to.
Maybe men are extra. Have you thought about this?
They might be. I just want to see what people say. So
I think we have a.
True.
What are our comments looking like?
Michelle said true. Michelle, why do you think that is? And it could be simply
true.
because
Above that
they're
one,
fed up with bullshit ass Negroes.
What's the one above that one, Brian?
I'm glad she said that. I'm glad to see that.
And the more experiences you have,
right?
If they are negative, it feeds into your viewpoint and makes you double down on your opinions.
We got a question.
What you got?
You have a question.
What you got?
Go ahead, Brian.
You think that it would look the same if they had social media in the
probably
in the beauty shop? Because the beauty shop
my God,
might look like that if it was social media.
Absolutely.
Right?
Dreesy,
I think so.
Good fellas in the building. Idris Parks, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining in. We did a whole hodgepodge of subjects tonight. Idris, check them out. To answer your question, Brian, if they had little social media tablets in the beauty shop, matter of fact, I'm going to go to the beauty shop and have them weigh in on the not next year. We got next week's show playing. The week after next, I'm going to do that because you get the real. And the real is, and usually with men or women, it's a lot of men on some complaining shit now too. Truth be told, I told y'all I'm gonna give it to y'all both ways. And the reason is, and I was doing this before I got married, I was making a lot of choices based on superficial shit. And when you make choices based on superficial clown shit, you get clown ass, circus ass results. Men just seemingly don't get tired of it. I know men 65 years old, still trying to go somewhere. They young, pretty, with them bill around things.
Oh, believe me, all these old ass men.
Say, I know they swallow.
Come here, girl.
I said, did this old motherfucker say?
Like the old pervert. Turn around, girl. Let me see you.
They wild. They got their little pill.
Right.
But they don't.
Now they're unbearable.
Exactly.
Because they've taken a Cialis.
But you see.
And they're a previously withered dick can get hard.
But I'm saying, avoid them Negroes and look for character. But every time I say look for character, the women will come back, I don't want no ugly man. Well, you pull what you can pull.
Well, but you know what? The loudest are the most obnoxious.
If you look at all the men with great qualities who are after you, pick the best looking of them.
But here's the deal though. You've got to go and look beneath, because the ones that are the loudest are the most obnoxious.
Or they got a lot
of well, I'm not sure if they're the loudest. I mean, like the loudest ones are the most obnoxious guys that you need to avoid. Well, like, look, no one's catcalling you down the street, but some loser.
Well, look, we got to get out of here.
Anyway.
Again, I hope you all enjoyed it. We had a few more topics. Next week, ladies come in. I got two brothers coming in. I got one chocolate brother for y'all ladies. I got one fair-skinned, light-eyed type cat coming in.
I'll screen them for y'all.
They are single men. And all I've asked them so far, the only thing I've told them is, what's your view of the dating pool right now?
We're going to see what they say.
They had some good things to say.
I can't wait.
And they had some not so good. But honestly, if I were a woman, they were
decent. Girl, single.
They were decent.
Chris is finding them.
They were decent to look at. They are very single. Like I said, one is tall chocolate, hey, I've had some women like, who is that? Who is that? I'm like, first off, whatever. I'm
like,
here.
Hello. You married.
Look, tune in next week. Bring a friend. Me and Gina B want to thank you all for coming out. Share the show. Do me a favor.
Please.
Share this show.
Yeah.
And we're going to change the name of the show. I think late August. It's going to be Kris and Gina.
It's going to be for my birthday.
When's your birthday exactly?
August 28th.
It's going to be Kris and Gina something. But start watching this on YouTube, because I'm going to move over there. Share this show. Tell people to tune in. Send in what you want to hear from next week. Or in the coming weeks. And I keep bringing that dopeness. But anyway, thank you for joining us. If you can, check out Brian Foster and Chantel next on In the Zone. Peace and love. Next week, 6:05 p.m. on Wednesdays. Peace and love. Kris the Critic, Gina B. We out this bitch. Love.
Peace.
Show.